Hey, Chelsea. I'm shuffling right now. I started shuffling and I was thinking she might like to watch this. It's really nice outside. Here. Here. Hello. Okay, I can kind of hear you as I'm shuffling these. Any minute, I'm sure one of my kids or my sister is gonna interrupt me. I'm at my mom's house. Probably gonna be my mom that interrupts me. She believes I'm going to hell, so. This card I'm about to pull is in the spot of unforeseen circumstances. Not unforeseen. Circumstances that are beyond your sight. That you wouldn't even know is occurring. That makes sense. And then this one will be hopes and fears. And then this last one is the best possible outcome. Given that you take the advice, which I will give to you. Okay. The question at hand is, you didn't give me very much, which is perfect. what I see here is that you have some success in finding your way, but you kind of you're like not sure if you should listen to this person, and it's a person. These are people. And this would be an older person. It doesn't have to be, some tarot readers say it doesn't have to be a male or female, but it is. Okay, so this one is a King of Swords, but it could be like your boss, or like someone you work with, or somebody who makes the rules at work. Whatever is like, you're not really sure what direction it's going in. The idea, it is an idea. These ideas, not sure where they're going with these ideas. They're not being negative or anything. It's just like your path isn't fully lit. So it shows that you're being really patient, though, and trying to see the best in the situation and the people involved. The advice you're getting from your higher self is the Queen of Wands in reverse. So you may need to like embrace the fact that you can't be happy all of the time. You don't have 8 arms, and it will burn you out, and that does make someone kind of shrewd. And so maybe don't be too hard on yourself, but know that that's a part of the cycle. I mean, you can switch that over. Like, you might not even be shrewd. You might be thinking about it like, you know what I really want to say to you? You know what I wish I could do? And your higher self is telling you that that's kind of justified. But I would not act on those impulses just yet. The situation in the recent past that is contributing to the situation at hand, that kind of lost the feeling with another man, probably. I mean, it could be how you're working with Zach, how the things are going. Like, maybe you're just going where he's telling you to go, and you're like, I don't know. Okay, well, we'll see, I have something I need to say, but like, you're not sure if you should say it or not. The situation in the recent past directly affecting the King of Swords and the Seven of Wands. Well, first I should tell you, the 7 is good. So it's a very spiritual number. So it's like internal for you. Where 6 is a victory, you have gotten your recognition from others around you. 7 is you're feeling pretty confident about it. So while she seems quite lost, you still have, these are all your wands. That's your bounty. These are your ideas, these are your passions. You just have like someone connected to it, and you see that she's looking at him, and she's like, I don't know, I don't know if I want to use one of my wands for whatever you're doing in your Kingdom of Swords there, which is work related, messages that are written, so a letter or telephone calls, anything through the airwaves, pretty much also. So, but it's definite action. Someone is, he is usually pretty well balanced, and he came up in the upright, so, but you didn't come out without scars. Like, you got a little scratched up, and you're like, I don't know, I've gotten this far, like, should I go forward? And you're just kind of waiting. Temperance is self-control. Also, not just patience. It's like treating others with compassion in an effort to control yourself. Although that is kind of selfish, but I said it, so that's probably. But anyway, so the situation directly it looks backwards when I show it there. It goes this way. The moon in this deck, they're puppets on strings to the moon. It's crazy. It's like these people don't have any control over themselves. They're just being told what to do, and they do it. Someone pulls the strings, and there they go, and they don't even care how it affects anyone else around them. Plus, it's also kind of subtle and maybe secretive. It could be intentionally secretive, and it was like a new idea, a new something that just started. So it was an action in its infancy. Maybe you caught it before it got out of hand or something. And you're like, wait, hold on. Is that what you were doing? Like, let's consider the facts here. You could be the King of Swords because he does sit. No, he does not sit. I was gonna say on the checkerboard, that's logic, but this is the Emperor. So, but anyway, directly the recent past. So what happened in the recent past was something that was kind of like subtly crazy, where I kind of had you questioning, the motives of everyone, and left you really confused. But at the same time, you had like this. You may have had like a moment of clarity in it where you took action. You were like, well, then this needs to be done, and it, like, I guess it didn't go over well because the Emperor in reverse, it was like this is beneath you. So this is the foundation of the question at hand. The question at hand was, how can you let's get clarity, let's find the source. The source is that there is no clarity, and I think that that's bothering you because you can't like figure out it's people. It's like, why are these things happening? I don't understand. Like, that literally made no sense over there why you did that. Like, I don't understand why you did that. Like, why didn't you hear me out on this? I love to do that, whatever that was. I'll find out in a minute. There may have been some drinking over it, and that definitely did not lead to any clarity whatsoever. You said you don't drink anymore, but it could also be like feelings got hurt and they kind of just walked away from the feelings, and instead of thinking about it logically, they kind of turned the house upside down in a sense. I'm not saying they broke stuff or whatever. If they did, let me know. Even at work, if that's the case, like, people everywhere, for me too, they're just like not making any sense. They're just doing all kinds of dumb shit left and right, and I'm like, we just made things harder for everybody. I don't get it. So you still, it's like not bringing the best out in you either. You have a short temper, but it's still like passive and not passive aggressive. You just kind of bottle it up for a little bit and move on, and you're like, well, I have to focus on this, so I can't deal with that right now. And then you just are going back and forth between these two issues, and it's like you're running out of fuel for your fire a little bit. And then so somebody's not, so in the near future, it's caused, or it could be happening right now, there's an issue of not being able to let go of, like, maybe somebody knows something and they just are, they're not willing to, like, let it out. There is a messenger and they're like not giving you a straight message, or they're like not explaining things to you very clearly. I hope it's not me. There is a young man who has a lot of energy. He's probably kind of awkward. It doesn't have to. So when I say it doesn't have to be a person, it's if these ones that are people tend to not be people, it could be, you know, an aspect of your personality or someone else's, or something in the situation that changes your attitude towards it. It's something to do with person or personality. So if I always think they're people, because when I pull my own cards, even if I don't know who the Queen of Cups is, I don't know, I'm not talking to anybody. I end up running into a Queen of Cups later that day, like out on the street or something, some random whatever, or someone online will be that way. So you'll have to let me know if these are people or just like attitude changes with the situation. So, but so the Page of Wands is coming together. You have like, he's also on thin ice. He's awkwardly skating around on thin ice, but he thinks he's really cool and kind of above it in this way, because, you know, on the stilts you're like, no, I'm fine, I'm not gonna break the ice. I dress great, you know, so I have my shit together, which, so if I dress fine, that means I have money to get myself dressed. Or they have a lot of passion, so they could be kind of saying stuff without really thinking about it. But they have something tangible and they're not sharing it. And knowledge is tangible too, just because knowledge is power. So the Page of Wands brings a message. He's already on thin ice. He's kind of arrogant. He's being awkward, kind of like vague, beating around the bush. Like, he wants you to know that he has something, like he knows something or he has it, but he's not willing to share, because if he feels like if he lets it go, that he would somehow be out or running out of time or something, that it would like cut his goal short somehow, that he would lose out somehow. And it's devastating. It's not just like, oh, I lost my pencil, I need to go buy new ones, I don't have the money for new ones. It's literally like, you cannot have this. I'm not going to share it with you. And this time, death, inevitable change, is like, you have to let that go so that you can burn off all this residual energy and, you know, give it up. But she, whatever the situation is they're not. There's just a delay, really, because change is inevitable. You can't stop change from happening. And then the way you see yourself is, you have like a lot to offer, but you're not going to give it all. And maybe somebody thinks that you are doing that to tease them or taunt them somehow, but you're pretty confident that this is how you need to be, because if you gave them everything, then you definitely would have nothing. And it have to do with money. So maybe about your job situation. I'm not really sure. If you have to work more than normal. You're short-handed at work. But at home, you're having financial issues too, and that is looking like it's the source. There's like some secret, okay? And then like somebody knows what's happening, but they're just too ignorant to get it out the right way, and it's really making you question your own actions, and you're just trying to like not take any action or say anything yet. But at home, there is this, I don't know, is there control issues at home? Sometimes when guys get really controlling, it's because they're losing control. This is in the upright though, so maybe you guys make new plans, and I mean, it's mainly just like people problems, and it's not that you don't have any control over the situation, but it's just people problems. So you don't have control over people, and so you can some way manage to get control over the situation by understanding that it is them and not you. Your hopes and fears are like maybe spending too much, or you don't really feel like yourself, or if you spend too much money you might, or no, it's kind of an ego trip. I'm not saying it's you. Sometimes people spend money to keep up appearances. I just did that myself. Wasn't trying to keep up appearances, but I just like spent too much on stuff. We'll talk about that later. The best possible outcome is that you get your message, whatever it was, and there's a new beginning, but this time there will be no naivete. This time you'll be all the more aware of what is going on, and you can start over. And somebody's getting a new job. Sorry, my leg itches. Anyway, that's too far out into the future. We'll do that later. So what I want to clarify is this Queen of Wands, because that is your advice. I'm getting eaten by mosquitoes. Well, they're going to find out that I don't taste very good in a minute. The Queen of Wands in reverse. What else do we need to know about the Queen of Wands in reverse? Let's see. King of Cups. I don't know. Maybe your dad has some. He may not be able to offer advice, but he can definitely listen and provide you with the emotional support you need right now. What else do we need? When I was little, I always thought fairies lived in this lilac bush, and I would feed them. Somebody might not be mentally healthy right now, or Yeah, maybe a bit of like depression or anxiety. Oh, that's you. You have anxiety. You definitely need to talk to somebody who knows you really well, who can hug and kiss you and stuff. Because you're putting out more than you're getting in. So if you're having tension at work and then you come home and you have tension and then you have to go back to work and you have that tension, like, and you have no escape, there you cannot get any more clarity than I give you if you don't rest from those situations. You like need a break from home life. No, you can't take a break from work just yet, but try to. Maybe during that last full moon you had like this new ambition. When we have full moons, we put new actions into reality. And when it's a new moon, that's when you make your list, starting the new moon of all the things you want to accomplish, because you're not going to have enough energy. And so when you get to the full moon, you do take that action, and you may have been prompted in this last full moon to take action. And it gave you like a little bit of energy to handle this with serenity. I don't know who you're giving money. I don't know, did you donate? Anyway, the Emperor in reverse with the Five of Cups. That's a home upside down. There's just like so much bickering, and it doesn't even, he's like not listening to you at all. He's kind of antagonizing you and then just walking away from it, and you're like, I don't get it, like, let's work this out. And he's like, I don't want to. So let's see what is this argument. There's no desire. So, coming out of a situation where a bunch of people were just running their mouth, and now that has changed, like hearing the truth a lot of times from other people, just a lot of backstabbing. I mean, is there any other interpretation with this? Like, you're done. And people are still saying whatever they're saying, and you're like, okay, but you're still moving forward. It's almost like, I don't know if you've ever been like so over everyone's bullshit that it kind of motivates you to create massive change in your life. You're just like, wow, all of those people, they haven't supported me at all. And in this way, it's like you're even more over the bullshit. All they're doing is running their mouth. Or you just heard a bunch of bad news and people are running their mouth or something. And you're moving on with it. It created ultimate change and made you stronger. And I don't think he really liked that, because he's not on the same level. He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand what your goals are, what your, I mean, you may have told him, but he still doesn't. He wants it to be him. I don't see that his feelings are hurt. I just see that he's being really immature, and you're focused on something else, and you want to get on the same page. And you can't get on the same page because somebody's not opening up. Somebody's not willing to share information. He doesn't want to talk about it. It's pretty stubborn and like rude and disrespectful. I don't know, but anyway, let's see one more clarity card, and then what's landed here? But the Wheel of Fortune, I guess whatever is happening at home, it needs to happen, and it's working out in your favor. It really seems like you're going uphill battle, but it's working out in your favor. And maybe it's not working out so good for other people. Even, there's an ant. Even at work, they will notice that level of determination. It's determined. You're determined. You're determined to, I don't know. I've talked to you in a while, so I don't know what you're determined to do. You're definitely helpful and radiant and sure, but like not mentally clear. And maybe people can see that and they want to take it from you in a way that kind of like, maybe they want to ask for your advice, but instead of just asking, they just bother you instead because they're immature. Because it looks like you know what you're doing. It looks like you have your shit together on the outside. So, 3 of Pentacles. Maybe you're training someone at work. There's got to be more to life than this, and that's all. Every time I get this card, that's always what it says. He's got his 2 wands right there, but he has the earth in his hands, and he has the knowledge of good and evil, and you know, he's built his castle and he lives exactly where he lives. But he's considering his feelings and looking out there going, there's got to be more than this. Like, do I want to stay here, or do I want to give up one of these wands and start over somewhere else? And that was clarifying this. So whatever, you haven't quite built a strong foundation yet. There's somebody else involved. I don't mean like cheating. There's definitely no infidelity here, but I didn't ask either, so. And I could